Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various win for the Lake Wabaska in the Lakeside 9-hole Cup. Before we take a closer look at all the videos, make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to. Scan the QR code here on the screen and go to our packages on Patreon. You can also use the link that is in the description down below. There you can find packages from $2.50 that will help you improve your tournament play and also tour play. So make sure to subscribe already today. Now, let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, and now we're gonna go for green, or at least to be very close to green. That we're gonna do by going through the trees. I believe that taking the risk is necessary here, because having to lay up is still gonna, it's gonna give you a chance, but it's gonna be such a difficult shot playing through the trees on the second shot, because your drive is going to be so dependent on your drive distance. So therefore we're going for green. We're using the big topper. Doesn't matter what level you have, because you're still not going to be in max distance, and we're going to bounce through the tree, roll into the rough and land in this instance on the fringe. There will obviously be situations where you will be stuck in the rough, but still, that rough iron is going to be miles easier than having to lay up further away, in my opinion. If you do happen to be wedge, you're gonna play it, the standard EB school version, called with 20% elevation and whatever Powerball number you're using. So hole number 1 should be an eagle, because if you're not getting an eagle here, that will definitely put you in a disadvantage to your opponents. Hole number 2, here we can play 2 ways. I would say that this is the way that I prefer if we do have a headwind. If we do have a crosswind or a tailwind, I would recommend to play a bounce over, meaning that we're using a sniper to bounce over the water into the rough to roll up. That's more difficult in my opinion, because then we obviously put the water in play. However, though, playing the rough bump like this is not going to be a gimme, because it's still going to require a perfect adjustment and stuff like that. That's normal, but as we are removing the water from play, it's definitely a little bit easier and also a little bit more direct trying to go for the hole in 1. From complete minimum distance with a quasar, 2 left spin and whatever the backspin to get the ball guideline just through the hole. In the video, I'm adjusting minimum distance plus 20. However, though, we need to play minimum distance plus 15 to be a little bit more spot on when it comes to the result here. However, though, that will obviously be open to change depending on what type of wind direction you have. Hole number 2, Lake Wabaska, is actually a fun par 3 in my opinion. Hole number 3, here we're gonna use and play on the right hand side, and here you're either going to play with the quarterback or the sniper to lay up, depends on the wind angle. You can see that I'm suggesting the quarterback in the info box, but the sniper could also be applied as well, but it will mainly be the quarterback. You see, I'm just pinging the ball down here the fairway, super simple, trying to not take any risk here when it comes to all the bumpiness on the fairway. Second shot is then going to be a sniper, and here you can either go for a rough bump. It all depends really if you have enough spins to do that. If you not have the enough side spin or enough top spin for the location you have the ball, then you're going to bounce over the sand instead, which also is going to give us a decent chance here. When it comes to the second shot, especially when we do have a crosswind like this, the ball will be pushed a lot to the left or right depending on what direction you have the crosswind in. Here I'm playing only 10% elevation and I'm not even playing, I'm playing 10% elevation mid-distance, and that's obviously wrong based off the result, but you will see, you will get the idea of how you should be attacking from distance. Obviously on this hole here, to just have that said as well, if you have tailwind of tee and you have big boy clubs and you have the possibility to use better balls and stuff like that, then you can get yourself close to green. If not on the green, you can get yourself close to green for a very simple albatross, but again, that requires a good club and a good ball. Hole number 4, here I'm playing an NMT, which means that it's called no move target, and it means that we're not touching the target until it's time to adjust the rings. Applying spins, which is going to be in crosswind around 4 backspin. Obviously in tailwind it's going to be a little bit more because the wind is going to push more, in headwind it's going to be a little bit less. If we do have this type of crosswind, I recommend to push the rings, otherwise the tree will be in our way, which obviously is crap, but not really something we can do about. Maximum distance with a 15% over adjustment, and I'm playing with a navigator because I do want to have the wind 2 at least here, but I don't feel the need to play with a wind 3. Bounces of the fairway up towards the green, and it rolls into the hole for lovely hole in one here on hole number 4. For hole number 5, we're going to do a rough bump out on our drive. This is a difficult par 4 that requires a lot of, what can we say? It's going to require more than normal on a drive for us here. So I'm playing for bouncing into the rough to roll down the fairway. If we're not reaching far enough, you won't be reaching to attack the pin because the green is positioned in a way that we do have a lot of rough and sand before the green starts. And that's going to then be very difficult to actually even achieve the birdie if the drive is not as we want. Sure, you can play down on the right hand side, but that's not as easy as it looks at either. So, to go back to what I said, we bounce into the rough there at the top, and then we roll out and get ourselves to around 265 yards. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. I'm using the quarterback to ensure that even if I hit a great ball, I won't be in any trouble, as I do have a good accuracy. Second shot, here I'm actually deciding to use the Guardian, and the reason for that is that I don't have enough topspin on my sniper to go for a rough bump, which would be my preferred way, as I do like to go aggressive. But then you're going to have to use at least 5 bars of topspin, but that is not something I have on my sniper level 7. So I'm using backspin, a little bit of right spin, try to bounce on the fairway before the green, and that is slightly uphill, which means that it often needs a lot more elevation than what we think. So I'm clearly under adjusting this one in a big way. And the reason it's going to be affected more, it's because the first bounce is going to be so high. You see how high that one is, and that's going to all be something that's going to be affected by the wind. Now, simple putt for a birdie, not maybe ultimate, or like ultimate in the sense of that we do want to push for the eagle, but it's a tough par 4, and I would say playing with a high level sniper is going to be a massive advantage here. Hole number 6, and this is going to be a tough drive, but I want to take a tough drive to give you a possibility to attacking for the albatross. I'm using my quarterback level 8, and I'm using the quarterback for its accuracy mainly because I do not want a great ball to destroy my possibility to first and foremost lock in the eagle, but also then give myself a chance for the albatross. So 3 to 4 top spin, 2 left spin. Aim with the second bounce into the rough to roll out on the right hand side. Center the ball and hit perfect. You can also see that I'm playing with a berserker, which is a power 5 ball, and the reason I do that is because of the second shot, not for the drive. Bounce into the rough and it rolls out lovely. What needs to be said here, you can also play on the left hand side, but playing from there is more or less going to give you an eagle only. So if you do not want to take any risk whatsoever and you feel that the left side drive is a little bit easier for you, then play that. But have in mind that the eagle is more or less going to be your only result from there. Second shot from here, now it's a rough bump. Again, you know me, I like to go aggressive, especially when it comes to these playthroughs, to give you an alternative of a drop on a tough par 5. So I'm using, in this case, my Horizon. And you may wonder, why do I suggest a sniper in the info box? It's because I would love to play the sniper, but I don't have enough topspin if I play with sniper level 7. But if I do have a higher level sniper, then I do have the topspin. So I'm using the Horizon to give myself the topspin. And obviously, I do have a good ball guideline with the Horizon here, which is great, but the accuracy is terrible. So hitting a great ball with Horizon is going to be danger, where hitting a great ball with Sniper is not going to be any danger at all. Adjustment is made. and center the ball and hit perfect, using a little bit of overpower to compensate for falling down into bunker. I know it is a little technical, this adjust, but again, when it comes to tough holes like this, to give ourselves a chance for a drop, that's something we're gonna have to do. For hole number 7, I like to bounce very close to the green. What I mean with that is that we do want to try to use the ring to box it in between the rough on the right and also the fringe. And this is a green that is big. And obviously it is crucial that you get the ball high up, so you're not falling down the hill again, because that wedge is not going to be easy. And I would say that that's going to be a short iron many of the times as well. That's how far it is from there. So make sure that you get yourself the right backspin or the topspin. But with tailwind, we're using a little bit of backspin and obviously a little bit of side spin as well to compensate for the crosswind. Maximum distance plus 20 should be the adjustment. Here I'm playing max plus 15, which also gives me the result that I miss on the left hand side. I would definitely recommend to use a ball that reduces the wind as much as possible, because that will help you make the proper adjustment. Hole number 8 is a long par 4. Headwind and crosswind is not fun on this one. I would like you to play with the big topper if you have that possibility. This, as getting all the top spin there, would be helpful. Then you can do a double bounce as I tried to demonstrate to the right. But the more sensible way to do is to play on the left side. Have in mind that the fairway where we're going to end up slopes right to left. So aiming too far left is going to be bad for you. That's why I'm aiming a little bit more right to try to just compensate for that slope there. Bounces nicely on the fairway, getting over the rough and keeping myself on the right hand side to not fall down into the rough on the left. The problem we have here from this angle, you can see the big tree that's covering the pin. Yeah, so you need side spin on the second shot, which we do apply with our Titan. However though, you don't have to play with a Titan. You can play with a ball with more side spin. You can even play Katana, Kingmaker, you know, Quasar, because here we don't really have any problem with distance. Ball guideline 2 hole when we have this type of wind, and the reason for that is that we are not having an extended or a compressed ball guideline here. So ball guideline 2 hole adjustment, 10% elevation, true club distance. Center the ball and hit perfect, and you will see the ball either be in or it's going to be very close. And you know, playing like a hole like this, playing a rough bump is definitely the far superior way to attack the pin for possibility for a drop. And that's something that I do really want to put emphasis on, that bouncing on the fairway is going to be tougher because you're going to have to apply much greater elevation. You're going to have to play bouncing on the fairway approximately 25% elevation, not the 10% as listed. If you play the rough bump, you play 10%. Hole number 9 in headwind is going to be difficult because you're going to have to use overpower. Sure, you can play with a higher powered ball such as a power 4 or power 5, but we're not going to do that in this playthrough. So I'm using, in this case, 3 rings of overpower and trying to hit perfect. 4.5 bar topspin, and my goal is actually to not clip the rough with my second bounce. I want to bounce over the rough and get myself up to a long iron towards the pin. Maximum distance plus 20 is what we're using here. On the second shot, we're playing with the long iron that gives you the best possible ball guideline. Now, this is backbone level 8 for me. But for those of you that do have a Grizzly in level 7 or better, please use that club. It could be B52 level 7 or better as well, but it's more likely in Rookie that you're playing with a Grizzly 7 or better than B52 7 and better. Having a better ball guideline here will help knowing if you aim with too little or too much backspin, and obviously if your direction is correct towards where the pin stands. 5% elevation is what we're using, and then true club distance, as we're very close to minimum distance here, is going to be like 10% club. center the ball and don't do what I do here, which is hitting great. Then you're obviously gonna miss. But a perfect ball is gonna be a very good chance for an albatross here on hole number 9. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division with Various Wind here for the Lake Wabasca in the Lakeside 9-hole cup. Make sure to subscribe to the best guides on the market by scanning the QR code or go through the link that is in the description down below. We have something for everyone, starting as low as $2.50. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Good luck in your Golf Clash game.